Hello and welcome to another Marty's Tutorials. Today we're going to talk about the video tag in HTML5 and how simple it is to get your HTML5 web pages to display video and play video. So let's get started with our coding. Alright, we're going to go ahead and do our coding for our HTML5 video element. Those of you who've watched Marty's tutorials before know that I love Notepad++ for doing my coding. That is the text editor that I'm using right now. You'll notice that I've created a file already called Tutorial HTML5 Video. I'll make that file available to you for your own practice. But what I've done ahead of time is I've created the basic part of this HTML5 document. Don't forget you have to put your doc type tag, excuse me, that's hard to say. And basically I've got a meta tag and a title tag and a couple body tags, and I'm going to go ahead and inside the body tag I'm going to add my video elements. So let's go ahead and do some coding. Hey, okay, welcome back. Hopefully everybody knows the power of video, and we love to have video on our web pages and websites. HTML5 makes this challenge so easy. Before, you had to have a Flash player, some type of Java player in order to make the video play. Now HTML5 takes care of all that for you, including the controls. You can still make custom controls with some JavaScript, but each browser has custom video and audio controls that with a simple attribute inside of the tag you can make those controls pop up on the screen. So let's go ahead and write our tag. So what we're going to do is in my body tag I'm going to simply type video, and I'm going to close that tag. We're going to put something else. We're going to put an attribute in there, but I'm going to go ahead and open and close my tag right now. There's the closing tag. And that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my cursor in between it, put a couple spaces so that I can write some code here. And so the next thing you want to do is you want to tell the browser what video is it that you're interested in playing. So I've created a video in the past for my Excel tutorials. It's a small video, and so I thought it would be appropriate to use in this tutorial because it'll load quickly. It's a text to column. If you don't know what that is, it's a function in Excel that splits the data in one column and splits it into two columns. It's a really nice feature. So I encourage you to check out that tutorial when you get a chance if that's something you're interested in. But right now we're going to go ahead and tell my web page to play this video. So we're simply going to tell it, we're going to create a source tag. If you don't remember, source tags don't have closing tags, so I don't need to go ahead and write my closing tag right now. I'm just going to hit source equals, and everybody knows what comes after an equals in HTML5. You have to have an open and closed quotation. So I type in the open quotation, Notepad++ types in the closed quotation and puts my cursor in between. So I'm going to go ahead and tell it what my video name is, and since it's in the same file as my tutorial HTML5.html file, I don't have to give it a relative path. An absolute path. I can give it a relative path. So I'm just going to give it the name of the video, which is simply text to column, and it's a .mp4 file. Okay. So this is kind of optional, the next piece that I'm going to show you, but I'm going to tell you why it's important. I'm going to go ahead and write type equals. What comes after the equals, everybody? We know. Open and close quotations. And I'm going to tell it that it's a video file. Whoops, excuse me. I messed up. So there we go. So it's a video file. And the type of the video file is an MP4. Okay? Now, why do I put this attribute in this source tag? Well, what that does is it allows the browser right away to know, wait, I support MP4 files, or no, I don't support MP4 files. If it doesn't support MP4 files, what are we going to do? We're going to display this text that I'm going to put underneath here. I'm going to put a space because I'm going to add another source code. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to, let me copy and paste this line of code, because I'm going to add another source, and this is a really good practice, just because not all browsers support MP4s. Most do. It's universally the most accepted, but just in case a browser doesn't, I'm going to add an OGG file, which is also very popular and pretty much will cover your bases if you're looking to make sure your video plays in all browsers. So let's copy that, let's paste it, Control V, and then all I really need to do here is change this to OGG, because I've already converted my file to an OGG file as well. So I've got both. Okay, I'm going to tell the video type that it's an OGG. Excuse me. And I'm going to delete that for. Okay, notice that Notepad++ wanted to do the autofill for me, which is awesome. So that's all we need to do. Now, what's going to happen when this browser sees this page, it's going to look at this type attribute, and it's going to say, well, I don't support MP4s and I don't support OGG. There's no reason for me to even try to load these files, because I know I'm going to get an error message. Let me just tell the user they need to upgrade their browser. Okay, something like that. You could be more specific if you wanted to with your text. Tell them, you know, that the latest versions of Firefox, Internet Explorer, Opera, Safari, Chrome, they all support HTML5. But if you have an old browser, like let's say example for Internet Explorer 6, there's still a lot of people who are using that. That will not support HTML5 video tags. So you have to display something, or you shouldn't say have to. You should display something here just to let your client know. So, is that it? No. I have one issue that I haven't really resolved yet. I'm just cleaning up the code here. I like to get rid of my, if you've watched my videos before, you know that when I code I leave a lot of spaces, but when I'm done I like to get rid of my spaces. So I'm just about done. Inside the video tag I'm going to add an attribute. What I'm going to add is controls. And so controls is going to tell the browser to go ahead and use its default controls for the video and to display those controls on the page until somebody presses play. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you this page, and then I'm going to come back and show you another attribute that we can add in here that we can make the video start playing automatically without your client or your viewer having to do anything. The video will just start playing, and that's the autoplay attribute. But let's take a look at our web page right now. So I have to come up here. I don't know if you can see this, but I got to come up here and save my code. So I'm going to hit save. Now I've got that saved. I can kind of delete that. I've got Google open up, and I can come to this tab. I want to go ahead and drop this in. So I need to open up my Explorer window. Can you see this? I don't know if you can or not. I'll move it over so you can. And there's my tutorial HTML5, and I'm going to go ahead and drop this in right here. Okay, oh, there we go. So hopefully you can see that. It's not playing, okay, because I haven't hit the play button. And you see this is an Excel 2013 tutorial by me, splitting data in cells with the text to column feature, right? So I need to tell you something right away. There is no audio for about 13 seconds, so that is not great for this tutorial, but I'm going to go ahead and play. You'll see the playhead start moving. The other thing is the control kind of auto hides once I move off of it. Let's see. I thought it auto hides, maybe it doesn't. There it goes. It auto hid and it came back.
And welcome to another of Marty's tutorials. My name is Martin Kelleher, and I am a Microsoft MVP, and today I will be hosting this tutorial on the text to column feature in Excel 2013.
So you should be able to have heard that. I just took the audio controls and slid it down to mute the audio, you can see the video is still playing. I use the Blackhawks because I love the Blackhawks, and I use the Blackhawks for that video tutorial. Those are all Blackhawk player names. But you can see how slick this video player is playing, and it's an MP4 file, and it just plays really, really well and really cleanly. You can see very simply the tutorial. You can see how it's playing. I really, really like how well HTML5 handles this. Okay, so we're just about done. I do want to show you the autoplay control and tell you about the loop control. Or excuse me, the attribute called autoplay and the attribute called loop. So if I want the video to start playing immediately when my page loads, what I can do is I can actually type in autoplay. Okay, it's as simple as that. So you can see that the Notepad++ wants to put in autoplay for me. I typed it in anyway. I'm going to save my control. Excuse me, I'm going to save my file. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Marty's page, and you can see that here is my video. It's still playing from before. I'm going to go ahead and pull it down, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh this page. Now notice that it's not playing right now. Okay, the play button is highlighted. If I hit the play button, it starts playing, and the pause button appears. Right? So I still have the mute on. We can't hear anything anyway because I don't say anything for about 10 seconds. But I'm going to go ahead and pause it. I'm going to put it back, and this time I'm going to hit refresh. I think this is just outside of the view. So let me go ahead and shrink our page. You can see the title right here. I have a title called Marty's Page, and that's what we put in the code to display in the tab, in the tag called title, so it displays in the tab. And so now you're going to see me hit the refresh button. Actually, I don't think you are, because if I do that you won't see the controls. So let me go ahead and move this back up. You're just going to have to trust me on this one. I hope I've centered the video so that you can see the controls down here. Okay, and when I hit the refresh button right now, you notice that my playhead starts moving because I have the autoplay attribute loaded into our code. So that might be something that's very helpful, especially if you're putting advertisements.
Hello,
or if you just want your
and
video
welcome
to
to
play.
another of Marty's tutorials. My name is Martin Kelleher, and I am a Microsoft MVP.
You see I muted it just now. There's also a full screen control that comes with the controls. So this is Google Chrome. This is supported in Internet Explorer and Firefox, Safari, and Opera. So depending on what browser you're using, the controls may look a little different, but the functionality will be the exact same. So this is really, really powerful stuff. Practice it. Put it in some your article divs, or they're not divs anymore, your article elements or your aside elements, or just in your body, and start experimenting with it and see what you can do. You can change the width of the controls. There's a lot of different attributes. This is just the basics. I just wanted to show you the basics of this video element. You could change the control. You can add a loop so that the video keeps playing when you're done. A lot of different things you can do with the video tags. So anyway, thank you for visiting another Marty's tutorial. I hope this was informative to you, and please come back and take a look at some more.